Hello, everyone. Very warm welcome to our Employee Center Academy. This is the third session of 2025. We are super excited to present you yet another super useful topic. My name is Pooja Gupta. I lead the outbound team for a product function called Unified Employee Experiences within ServiceNow. Joined with me is Smriti Gupta, who would be leading this session today. We're both very excited to bring this topic to you. Before we dive deep into the topic, I wanted to make sure I introduce what is the Academy to those who are joining us for the first time. So, first of all, welcome. And you're joined for the first time, but Employee Center Academy is actually a series of monthly events. Once you have registered for all. So you will be receiving notifications on your email for upcoming events. In each of these sessions, we dive deep on a particular topic. Mostly these are technical topics related to a particular feature or capability within Employee Center. As you would see today, one of our topic today is one of those. And we dive deep to explain what is the experience that we are building, what's the value that we are helping organizations create, and how admins can configure that feature or capability to really work for your organization. So you would see us really deep dive and provide you the guidance that you need to make the best use of that capability. Every now and then, we also pick up topics like design techniques, multi-phase deployment, which actually help you better plan or better manage Employee Center. I encourage you to look at the past sessions. You will see the link coming on chat shortly. We record each one of these and we share the recording both on ServiceNow community and YouTube. So don't worry about taking notes today because you will see the material from this available to you. It takes about little more than a couple of days to get the recording up. So please be patient and I rest assured that you will get the recording. Some ground rules. This is essentially your time to ask your questions, any concerns, anything that you have as things that are on top of mind related to the topic being discussed. Please put it in the Q&A panel. We actually have a set of panelists, experts on Employee Center, who will try their best to answer your questions. If we cannot, we will follow up. And again, the recording and slide deck will be available. We do have a chat. It's very nice to see some folks already using it. Make sure you are actually submitting your chat comments to everyone. Otherwise, only host and panelist can see. So you can choose that. So if you want to talk to each other, interact, we have people from all over the world on this webinar. So, and more than 200 people. So please take this time to, say hello to each other and interact as much as you want. Keep your questions on the Q&A panel because that's what the panelists are monitoring. All right. The topic for today, we are going to discuss unified task experience on Employee Center. So one of the value propositions when we rolled out Employee Center was that you can literally unify all your tasks across departments, across applications into one single experience on Employee Center. We will talk about what that experience is. We will talk about how you can configure that experience from an admin perspective to work for your users. So your users may want different kinds of information displayed for their different kinds of tasks. So you can configure all of that on Employee Center. We will be showcasing how to do that. And we will also dive deeper into what this tasking experience is beyond portals, like, what is on mobile, what is on other applications, and go from that. And like I said, we do have a set of experts dialing in from ServiceNow. So I'm not going to go through a full round of introductions, but at this point, I want to hand it over to Smriti, who's going to lead this discussion and take us through the rest of the presentation. Smriti, over to you.
Thank you so much, Pooja. And let me just take over screen share. Just give me 1 second. I hope you see my screen.
Yes.
Awesome. So thank you for introducing the topic and agenda today. Just to introduce myself, hi everyone. I'm Smriti Gupta, Outbound Product Manager with Unified Employee Experience Team. This is essentially the team that manages Employee Center Pro, and related conversational integrations with Microsoft Teams and Now Mobile. Joined by me, I have Pavan and Samant from the product team and Adi from engineering team, who will be monitoring the Q&A panel for your questions and responding to them. So please keep your questions coming in the Q&A panel. So let's start with our topic for today, unified task experience. And before I dive deeper into the slide, let me just consider a scenario where I am Maria, who's an IT manager with a IT company called Electri. And she's starting her day by logging into her employee portal, and she's trying to kind of manage all the tasks that are pending on her end on her employee portal. So the first thing that I, as Maria, see by logging to my employee portal is the home page that I have. And the first thing I see on my homepage is the my task um, shortcut, mega menu shortcut up on top here that kind of lists the number of tasks pending on my end. It gives me an immediate overview of all my pending tasks so I can quickly prioritize my day. And once I click here, it will navigate to my task page, but that's for a later viewing. Right next to it, I have a small bell icon here that is essentially my portal notifications. And here I can easily view tasks that needs my immediate attention, such as any of the approvals or any of the urgent requests that I have. For example, I can see approval request from Casey, and I have other approvals and other tasks that needs my immediate attention, right? So I can also dive deeper into any of these tasks by clicking any of these notifications right from the home page here. This essentially gives me a holistic view of everything that's on my plate right now across all the departments, right? So one of my favorite widget on the homepage is my active items widget. This widget provides a consolidated view of all the activities I need to manage. And it's not just task, but also includes things like request or surveys or purchasing or learning task or other things I can run or there are upcoming appointments, right? So, or even the reservations. And this widget essentially configures so I can only see the activities that I have access to based on my user criteria, right? So again, I can see everything that I need to focus on right now. And let's say I want to dig deeper into my task, right? I can easily drill into any of the open tasks from here. I can click on this view details and be navigated to the details for this particular task. For example, I click on one of the open tasks and it takes me directly to the My Task page, which is where I can see a unified view of all my tasks, both open and completed. So on this page, I can filter tasks based on various criteria. For example, I just want to see career growth task. I can click that filter and I can see a list of all the career related tasks that have been assigned to me. And I can just focus on most urgent items on my plate right here, right? And accordingly, I can prioritize all my
Priti, we lost your audio. Are you still there?
sorry. Do you hear me now?
But you may want to repeat the last few sentences because we lost you there.
Okay. So I was saying on this page, we have the filters that can help me prioritize my list of tasks here. For example, I can select the career growth task and see a very pointed list of career related tasks that have been assigned to me here. I see all the learning courses that can help me upskill myself in my career, right? So I can click on any of this task and be navigated to all the details of this task. And I have the action button right on the bottom here that allows me to kind of complete that task or complete that learning course, right? So these filters are essentially helpful for me to navigate amongst all the laundry list of tasks I have here. Um, for example, I have more than 15 tasks here. So I might need to kind of navigate to only things that are urgent and important for me right now. Then I have the completed task here as well, things that I've already taken care of. So once I have seen that, um, once I've filtered all my tasks and I have seen all the relevant details that I need to make an informed decision, I can go ahead and complete that task. It could be a task, it could be an approval activity that needs my attention. I can review all the necessary information, like if it's an expense approval, I can see the expense receipts and documentations. And then I can easily approve or reject the request without needing to dig through the emails or other platforms. Right. So overall, this is the unified tasking experience that has really streamlined my workflow. And it's not just about seeing tasks, it's about having all the tools that I need to prioritize and act and stay organized. So back to the slides. Let's just recap a bit on what all we have seen so far. So, in today's presentation, we'll discuss the unified tasking experience, which provides employees with a consolidated view of all their tasks on a single page. And these tasks can range from anything from IT approvals or HR approvals, or even the journey task, or even approvals from third party applications like Concur and Workday. And on the home page, we offer three entry points, just like I've shown in my demo, to notify users about their open or pending task. First is the My Task mega menu shortcut that displays the count of open tasks that requires urgent attention of the user. Next is the portal notifications, the bell icon right next to that, which alerts the users about recent activities needing urgent attention. The third is the My Active Items widget. It provides a summary view of all open activities across departments that the user has access to. And this unified task management experience, it is available out of the box with Employee Center, so you don't require any special licenses. It's available with Employee Center Standard. However, the task that you see depends on your licenses. For example, with an IT license, you only see IT tasks, but as you expand to HR or enterprise licenses, you'll see additional tasks such as HR approvals or journey tasks. The beauty of this experience is its scalability as your organizational needs grow. And we'll talk about some of these task use cases as we move forward.
Smriti, before we move forward, thank you for clarifying the licensing question. People were asking that. There's one more thing. Everything over here um, is actually available to you today, except the notifications. The notifications are something that are dependent on Yokohama family release. Am I right on that, Smriti?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. And the My Task experience, the My Active Items widget, the filters that you would see, like as Smriti will go to the next slide, all of that are already available as of like early 2024. So they've been available for a while. Please go.
Awesome. Moving forward, so all the tasks, like I've just displayed in my demo, all the tasks are displayed in a unified, consolidated view called the My Task page, which lists both the open and completed task. And users can drill down into any task category using filters at the top. So these filters are configurable, allowing different filter categories and multi-level filters also based on user's persona. So for example, a manager will see different filter options than an individual contributor. And when you click on a task, you'll be able to view all the relevant details that help in making an informed decision. For example, in this screenshot, we see an expense approval from SAP Concur. And user can review the itemized expenses, they can view the attached receipts, and read any of the comments and then decide whether to approve or reject the request. I hope that makes sense. And before we move on to the admin experience, let me go back to my instance just to recap what we have discussed so far. So on the home page, we have three points here. First is the My Task shortcut on the mega menu right on top that displays the notification count. Then we have the portal notifications that allows you to drill down on any of the particular task and perform actions on that accordingly. Then on the homepage, you also have the My Active Items widget that displays all your activities that needs your attention. So if you see further details on this My Active Items widget, there's a summary view that displays tasks. So for the primary activity, so I have defined task, and this is by default the out of the box configuration. I've defined task as my primary activity. So with the primary activity, you have an advantage of displaying all your top 4 or 5 activities upfront. Like I've displayed top 4 open task here. And these are all the secondary activities that I have defined for this user. So besides task, I have learning task, I have request, I have surveys and purchases that only list a count of the open items that I have in these categories, right? And as an admin, we have several configuration options to kind of change the look and feel of this widget. We'll discuss about it later on. As we drill down into any of these particular tasks, you have an option to kind of see the details for that particular task. And as an end user, you can use the um, filter categories on top. For example, I just want to view the Conquer task that I have pending on my end. I can click on the SAP Conquer filter up on top, and I can view the Conquer task in my list that are open and needs my urgent attention. This is one of the expense approval tasks that I have. I can see the expenses or the expense itemization. I have the attachments, which allows me to view receipts before I go ahead and make an approval on this. I can view the comments, right? I can view other details related to this particular task, such as the claimed amount and the amount due to the employee, the date on which this was submitted, right? And then I can, based on all the details that are available for me to view, I can make an informed decision whether I need to approve or send it back for modifications. That kind of completes the front user experience for the tasking. Let's move on to the admin experience for unified tasks. So all the different pieces that we have just shown in the front user experience demo, that are most of it are configurable by your organizational admins or the portal admins. The first piece of configuration is configuring the actions required for these tasks. Right. So actions allows you or allows end users to make or perform any action on any of the widgets that are available. It could be on the My Active Item configurations. It could be on the To-Do page or the My Task page. So you could use the action framework that makes task faster by giving users quick access to commonly used actions. And you can also use default actions or create one of your custom ones as per your organizational needs. And with this action group framework, actions are grouped together and are ready to use in a widget. For example, out of the box, we have approvals action group, and users can quickly approve or reject request directly from the approvals page. This speeds up the workflows and boost productivity by providing relevant actions in one place. So as an admin, you don't have to kind of reinvent the wheel here and define what is the next action that needs to be taken by your end users on that particular task or approval. You could use the out of the box action groups or actions that we have defined and just map it to any of the tasks, even if you're defining a custom task in your table. So let's just see how it looks like for the end user or the admin. Um, just give me 1 second. I hope my screen is visible.
Yep, all good.
So if you navigate to action framework under employee center menu, you see action groups and you see the actions. In under the action groups, out of the box, we have approvals action group, right? So you can go ahead and map your actions. You can make changes or modifications. And action group is something that actually clubs or combines a related set of actions together. For example, the approvals action group clubs approve and reject actions. And you can go ahead and make modifications in this particular action or the action group as per your use case. Or if it suits your needs, you can go ahead and map it to any of your existing tasks. So on the actions table, we have several other actions. And just a call out here, this is not just applicable for tasking experience, but the actions that you view on the employee profile page. These are also defined using the action framework. So you would see things like send back or send email, right? You can define several other actions that could be used at different places within your portal. So the next step that the admin needs to do or configure as part of configuring the tasking experience on your employee portal is configuring the My Active Items widget. This is just a reminder here, this is the widget that we saw on the homepage that list not just tasks, but requests, surveys, appointments, learning assessments, and many more other activities. So let's take a look at how to configure the My Active Items widget. It displays all the activities that requires users input or reviews such as tasks, surveys, and requests. By default, out of the box, we have set task as primary activity on the My Active Items widget, and they follow the existing to-dos configurations. And similarly, requests are displayed using the existing request filters. And if you want to display additional activities like reservations or even any of the custom activities, if there's an available plugin, you need to install and activate the related plugin. For example, reservations requires the workplace reservation management plugin. Or if it's one of your custom activity, you can make custom modifications on My Active Items widget configuration and show your display your activities there. As an admin, you can organize all these different activities based on priority or urgency. And you can also choose between the vertical or the horizontal layout and even add actions using the action framework to kind of allow end users to perform actions directly from the home page. So instead of me having to drill down onto the My Task page, I can directly approve or reject from the home page using the action framework. The summary view essentially shows the count of all the activities. So, for example, my task is the primary activity and request is the secondary activity. So, secondary activity would show the count of pending requests there. And all these activities displays this count. So, if I have one or two tasks, it would display as one task or two tasks pending. If I have more than 9 tasks pending, it will display as 9 plus next to the activity item. This is something we have consciously made a decision to display 9 plus instead of the exact count, and many organizations have kind of raised this concern. This is essentially to improve the performance of the first time load. The list view shows the detailed list of to-dos for the primary activities, such as you were able to see all the 4 or 5 different open tasks under the task view, and you can navigate to the full page for that particular activity, right? So on the home page, let's just go back to our home page for a second. So this is the My Active Items, and some of the configuration options that we have just talked about, they're available via instance configuration. So if you check the instance options, you have options like show details when no actions are defined. You can show the action icons for those activities. You can define the card behavior as single or wrap. So if I am selecting as a wrap, it will show me the list in a vertical layout. So you see, the carousel is now gone and all my top 4 tasks are shown in a vertical list. Other options, instance options available for me are whether I need to load the configurations asynchronously or synchronously. This is essentially to optimize for performance. And I can also define the number of items that needs to be displayed here. So I could select anywhere between 2 to 6. Right. Um, moving on to other admin configuration. So under Employee Center, if you navigate to activity configuration, you can see all the different types of activities that you can configure to be visible on the homepage, My Active Items menu. Let's say I drill down to task view here, right? So I can open the record for task view and define the activity configuration for task. So I can define what the activity name is, whether this activity would navigate to an internal or an external page here. External page navigation would be useful for in case I am retrieving, for example, approvals from third-party applications, right? In case of internal activity portal page, the exact page that I want to navigate to, for example, task makes sense to navigate to the to-dos page. I can also define the icon here, and I can set this activity as primary or secondary. In case of primary activity, it will display the top 4 or 5 activities as well in a card view. I can make this active, I can define the order, and in case I want to go ahead and do some scripting changes, I can go ahead in the advanced view. Otherwise, I have the activity configuration details here that I can do. And let's just change the scope for a moment here. So under the activity configuration details, it will allow me to kind of add new activity configuration details, and this will allow me to change the details for the card view here. So all the details like short description and whatever details are displayed here, I can change that. For example, on the request, it is displaying price here and it's displaying the requester name here. So I can change all these details or configurations from the activity configuration details page here. I'll be able to add new record and set all these details here. So the next step is that was that for my active items widget configuration. Next, moving on to the My Task page. So once you click on any of these activities, you get navigated to the My Task page or the HRM to-dos page, that list that gives you a unified consolidated view of all your open and completed tasks. Right. On top, you have a configurable filters, and these are kind of personalized for the end user. So a manager persona would see a different set of filters versus an individual contributor would see a different set of filters. You have provision to define multi-level filters. So, for example, within Workday, you have different types of Workday approvals or request types that you can define filters for, right? And also, all the tasks are categorized as open and completed. And once you click on any of the tasks for the details view, all the details are categorized under three categories. First is the common information. That lists essential details for the task, such as created date, state, and the name of the task. Next is primary information, and all of these informations or all of these display details are configurable by admin. So let's say for an HR approval, you can display different set of details here versus an IT approval or a learning task. You can display entirely different set of details for those kind of tasks. Then you can also define the tabs here, and finally you can define the action here. Let's just see the admin piece of it. So on the menu, if you navigate to to-dos configuration under Employee Center, you can see all the different to-dos that we have configured. Let's just say I want to check the Concur task. So let's just check the Concur approvals configuration record here, right? So we have the name of the record here. We have the application under which it is defined. We have the table from which it is pulling the task or the to-dos. And we have the conditions defined here. So let me just go ahead in the edit mode. The first tab we have defined here is the title row. So under conditions, I can define what conditions need to be met for me as an end user to see that particular task or approval within my to-dos page. So it is assigned to me, it is active, and it is in to-do open state. And this is defining the source table from which it is pulled. Next, we have the title row. So if I go back to one of the tasks here, for example, this is the SAP Concur task that I have. The report name, this essentially is the title row, right? And this is defining what field needs to be displayed there. So I have defined as to-do description, and this is the business meal expense request for Emily's colon, right? So then on the details, I can define other details like uh, which application it is coming from and what is the type of task it is retrieving. These are the details that can be displayed here under the detail row, right? Then I have something called task configuration. And once I drill down into this particular record, I can define what all details would be visible for this particular task. So I was talking about common info. Common info is essentially this set of details right here that says created date and state. So I can define the common info here, all the details that needs to be defined. So I have, yeah. So I have the reference table name and created date and approval status name displayed here, as you can see in the three fields. Then I have the primary info. Primary info is essentially the set of details that are displayed to me. Under primary info, I have fields displayed like requested for, submitted date, currency, total claimed amount, amount due to employee, amount due to card, company card report previously sent back. So as per your organizational needs, you can also go ahead and change these details depending on whatever you want to display here to allow your end users to make a wise decision um, for approvals right here. And then on the bottom, we have tab configurations. So for this particular approval, we need to display additional information in form of tabs such as expenses, expense itemization, and then attachments and comments. All those are configured using the tab configurations and under the related links. And then you can drill down into each of these records and display what information needs to be displayed here. Finally, we have the action that needs to be defined. So under action group, I have already defined Conquer actions, and I can just go ahead and map it to my task configuration record here. So this is the action that I have configured specifically for Conquer approvals, send back and approve. I hope this makes sense. Moving on to the last part of admin configurations, configuring the task filters. So, talking about configuring filters on the to-dos page, filters essentially help employees and managers quickly find and prioritize tasks. And as an admin, you can set up conditions and you can add your filters and filter groups and categories to narrow down these tasks and improve visibility into time-sensitive items. Admins can go ahead and create conditions and map them to filters. They can set up filters and organize them into filter groups or categories. And they can configure filters for specific needs, like showing approvals for third-party applications like SAP Concur or Workday. And employees can use these filters on the My Task page to easily discover relevant tasks. And when managers access the My Task page from the Manager Hub, they get better visibility into their team's task with filters already pre-applied. Right. So this filter framework is extensible, so your admins can tailor it to your organizational business needs. So let's just see where you can navigate, configure the filters. On the to-dos, the second menu item we have here is to-dos filter categories. So you can go ahead and you can see all the different filter categories defined here. For example, I go into the task type record. So under task type, these are the different filters that I've defined for Workday or for SAP Concur. Let's just say I want to drill down into Workday task filters. Under the Workday task filters also, let me just go ahead and change the scope. So under the Workday task filters also, I have sub-filters defined here. This is a demo instance, so not exactly visible here. But I have sub-filters defined here depending on the Workday use cases. So on the front end, if you can see, under the Workday task also, I have sub-filters defined like time of request, time of correction request, leave of absence request, timesheet request. So all of these can be configured using the to-do filter configuration table that I've just shown. This was it for admin configurations. Before we move on to the next piece of this conversation, Pooja, is there anything we should be addressing from the Q&A panel or anything you would like to add here?
No, we've been actively taking the questions. So if there are any questions, audiences, please put them on the Q&A panel and we will make sure we revisit this portion if needed. Go ahead, Smriti.
Awesome. So this was a very brief view of the tasking experience on Employee Center. Let's just understand the additional use cases that are available for you to explore within the tasking experiences. So when we talk about tasking experiences, the conversation is kind of incomplete without talking about the approvals hub. This is available, the pre-built Concur integration is available with Employee Center Pro license, and the pre-built Workday integration is available with HRSD Pro or Enterprise license. So these are the specific use cases that we mentioned in the beginning of our conversation that may require some additional licenses. So Approvals Hub is essentially combining approvals from all the third-party applications. We are pulling in external approvals into ServiceNow Employee Center system and allowing approvers or managers to kind of make approvals from within Employee Center itself without navigating to other applications. This is essentially eliminating all these swivel chair experiences for your employees and allowing you to kind of perform action or pull in approvals into a consolidated unified system. Right. This is available for both Portal and Now Mobile and Microsoft integrations view. We have extensively talked about Approvals Hub, how you could configure it, what are the license requirements, what are the nuances you need to take care of in one of our previous Academy sessions on the topic of Approvals Hub. Right. The link is shared on the screen upfront. You can go ahead and revisit this session if you are looking to explore Approvals Hub for your organization. Let's talk about completing this whole tasking flow with omni-channel integrations. Now, we understand not all of your employees might be always in front of a dedicated workstation. Some of those employees might prefer other channels to kind of engage or work, such as Microsoft Teams or even Outlook and Now Mobile. So we have ensured that we provide a seamless end-to-end experience with respect to tasking on all the omni-channel experiences that we currently serve. First is the Now Mobile piece of it. So all the expenses that all the tasks that you just saw on the My Active Item widget, those are available for you on the Now Mobile app as well. So if your employees are on the move and they kind of want to utilize that time to complete their task, they can do so. They can view the task details. For example, I have the expense report example a screenshot here. In case they want to go ahead and check the expense report, they can check the expenses, they can check the receipts, they can view the full report, they can see all the details that are required, and then make the decision whether they want to approve or reject that particular expense. Next we have is the Microsoft Outlook experience or the tasking experience within Microsoft Outlook. So this is essentially whenever you receive a actionable notification within your Outlook inbox, you can go ahead and check the details for that particular task or approval and provide your decision or take actions on that task completion from within Outlook itself. So as you see in the example screenshot here, you can see the details that you need to kind of see for making a decision for this particular approval. After you have had time to check the details, you can go ahead and approve or reject this particular approval, right? One call out is this tasking experience for Outlook email notifications. This is only available with Outlook actionable messages store application. Next we have is the tasking experience for Microsoft Teams. So you can provide, similar to Now Mobile and Outlook piece, you can provide all the necessary information in the virtual agent actionable notifications Teams chat.
Smriti,
And
we lost your audio again.
sorry, am I audible now? Hi, Pooja, am I audible?
Now you're back again. So,
Okay, sorry. I have no idea why it's breaking today. But as I was saying, similar to Now Mobile and Outlook experiences, you can provide tasking experience from within Microsoft Teams. You can provide all the necessary information for that particular task for users to review. within the virtual agent actionable notifications in Teams, and your users can see the details, see expense reports, receipts, and everything, and take decision, approve or reject, or complete that task from within Teams itself. Moving on to the some of the deployment guidance and additional details required that you essentially need to understand before that. Anything else we should be addressing from the Q&A panel, or anything you would like to add here, Pooja?
Just one quick thing. The Outlook actionable messages, you don't need any new licenses for it. It's available for everyone. And we will share some documentation link on it for it via chat. That's it. Go ahead.
Awesome. So most of these details I've already called out, but just to reiterate here, you don't need any special licenses for this tasking experience, the basic tasking experience. It's available for all Employee Center standard customers as well. And most of it is backward compatible to N-2 family releases, as we support N-2 family releases. The task available on Employee Center, they are specifically dependent on the underlying licenses. For example, journey task require HRSD enterprise license, right? Also, we talked about Approvals Hub, and Approvals Hub with the pre-built Concur integration requires EC Pro license, and Approvals Hub with Workday that requires HRSD Pro and enterprise license. In terms of roles, all the configurations that I've shown in my demo that requires either portal admin or ESC admin roles. And if we talk about IT approvals, the end user must have approval user or business stakeholder role to kind of go ahead and approve those IT requests. So in case of approval users, there are some other nuances that you need to consider for approval user and business stakeholder role as well. For approval user, you might not be able to kind of add your comments, and for business stakeholders, you can go ahead and add your comments and then go ahead and approve. For approval user, you can just do an approve or reject action without drilling into the details. So please contact your accounts team to kind of understand those nuances before you go ahead and deploy it for your organization. With that, we come to an end of this conversation. I hope whatever we demoed for tasking experience and whatever discussions we have held today, they were useful, and you were able to understand the end-to-end piece of it. If there are further questions that we can address live, the floor is open now. We can address those. You can go ahead and raise your hand if you would like to get something clarified.
We've been having a lot of active discussion on Q&A, so maybe that was helpful. But if there's any further, feel free to raise your hand. If not, we can go ahead and look to close the session. Oh, I see one. Etta, you're allowed to talk.
Thank you so much. First of all, excellent presentation. In the My Task, so there was a time on the platform when you went to My Task, it really had all my tasks. So it looks like that feature's back. But also when you're in your task, you have the ability to log your time there as well. Can it be configured to do that? Because otherwise, yes, I have my task, I can see all the information, but then I would still have to come out of it to go log time, right?
So I believe logging time would require integration with a third-party application, if I'm not wrong, Pooja.
No, we have time management on the platform. I mean, we can take this offline, and I can actually also show as well.
That'll
But
be
that feature
amazing.
to have everything there, they can really go in and go, here's all my tasks, here's all the work that I'm doing on my task, and when I'm done, log my time and I'm done.
That's pretty cool. Could you share your email via chat with on
Yeah.
just in panelists? We would love to dive deeper with you on this.
Be happy to.
Amazing, right? The platform is so big that we are learning about it as well. So thank you.
I've been around a while. Like I said, happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Eta, for sharing
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Amazing. If we don't have any further questions, probably we can call it an early. So if you have found this session informative and useful, we do a lot many other live sessions as well. Just to give you a very brief glimpse into some of our other events, we do deployment office hours. This is essentially if you have any of the queries while you are deploying Employee Center Pro, and you would like the product and engineering to clarify some of your doubts, you can come into these sessions and get your doubts clarified. We do this every last Tuesday of a month at 9 a.m. Pacific. The next session is up on 25th March. If you're new to these, please feel free to register and join us. The next is specifically for employee communications capabilities. This essentially requires Employee Center Pro license. If you have any of the questions or doubts around communications related capabilities, please do join our office hours. We do these on first Thursday of a month. The next one is due on 3rd of April at 9 a.m. Pacific. And a very huge call out here for the Employee Center Confidential Roadmap webinars. I've seen so many of the organizations benefit from these roadmap sessions. We would highly encourage you to join us since we are doing these next week itself on 26th and 27th of March. If you have not joined us on any of our previous roadmap webinars, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and register for these. Apart from that, we have a ton of other resources, implementation guides, release blogs, training materials, and feature demos, and much more on our Employee Center community product hub. The link is up there. You can go ahead and check that out. If we have not been able to address any of your questions in today's session, or if you want to just ask any of the off-topic bits as well, you can reach out to us on UEX product events at servicenow.com. We will be back next month on 16th of April. That's third Wednesday of a month. And the next session is quite interesting for those organizations who are looking to understand dynamic topic microsites a bit more. Right, so we are doing a recap of this topic in our Academy sessions. This is going to be super interesting. We encourage you to join us again next month. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope this session has been super useful and helpful for you. And have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.